Hello, Doug.
Hello, Sean.
So today you wanted to talk about the state of the real estate market in 2011.
Yes.
So the big question people have often at the beginning of a new year: should I buy or sell? Should I do anything this year? Should I buy a house? Should I sell a house? What should I do?
Well, from what I've read, okay, I've been reading some people are saying prices are stabilizing. I've read some articles that have stated that real estate might have a decrease in value yet for 2011, and others are saying inflation might creep in into the economy, and therefore that would be higher prices for real estate.
Mm-hmm.
So my conclusion is I don't think anybody really knows.
Mm-hmm.
Even economists don't know. That's a very complicated market we're in right now, very complicated pluses and minuses for all the different factors that are going on.
Okay.
And so I think I would disregard anybody's predictions right now on what's going to really happen to the market this year, and look at your own personal situation and figure out if it's a wise choice for you to go ahead and make a move.
Okay. What do you mean? What do you mean when you say that? Oh, your own personal situation.
Well, because a lot of us are in a planning stage where we're thinking of having a change in lifestyle, which would mean that you either need to downsize, or your family's increasing, you need to get a larger home.
Okay.
Or for whatever reasons you're thinking about this,
a job
or whatever. So there's some good things that are happening. Interest rates are still low.
Okay.
Historically low, so that's good for everybody. If you're buying a home, it's good for the buyers, it's good for sellers who are selling their home and buying another home.
Okay.
And let's say you have a home that you're renting out, and you just think, it's time, I'm reinvesting the money somewhere else or whatever. So you have to look at your personal financial situation on that particular property, and trying to say that I've got other uses of that money or whatever. And then you try to second guess yourself by saying, well, gee, if I just put this off or wait, that has to make sense. So the reason you're putting it off or waiting is not because of what you're trying to guess is going to happen to the economy. It's because of what your financial situation is. So overall, what we're talking about here is that don't let other news medias, news stories, and all these economists that are out there try to sway you from, because they might be totally 180 degrees wrong.
Right.
And we've seen that in the past. Last year, for example, everybody was saying inflation was going to creep in. Did we see any inflation? No. Now everybody's saying that unemployment is supposed to get better. Will it? Who knows? Some people say that they can't see it getting better for 5 years. Others say, yeah, it could possibly get better. So back to the old standby is that what's good for you has got to be good for you, and it's got to make sense.
So kind of what I hear you saying too is like, don't bet on the market. Don't bet on the market to go down a lot in 2011, and don't bet on the real estate market to go up a lot in 2011. It should probably have more to do with your personal needs than it should be trying to either sell now versus wait 11 months.
Right, because if the only reason you're doing it is you're trying to gain a couple extra percentage, let's take a seller. The only reason you're doing it is if you're trying to gain a couple extra percentage points on the sales price of your house. My gosh, maybe by the time that would happen, the rates are going to be up, so that counteracts just what you thought you were trying to get a positive side on the selling side.
Right.
And ditto for buyers. I mean, if you say, well, I'm going to wait for those prices to come down some more, and now you're thinking the opposite of what a seller maybe is thinking, then the rates go up. Now that counteracted all that idea.
Right.
So it's got to make sense for you now what you're doing, and
like Doug's, a lot of people, we've shot a lot of other videos and have a lot of stuff on our website about short sales, or people who might be in financial duress. That's a totally different situation where that's a pretty straightforward financial situation where they need to get that house sold. If you're already underwater on your mortgage, it's probably not like the value on your house is going to increase enough in 1 year to counteract that, right?
Yeah. We just had a client that said he got an offer from the bank to lower his interest rate way down to 2%. but it still wasn't making sense for his family economically
Right.
because the mortgage amount wasn't going down. Yes, the payment was going down because they lowered the rate, but still he had other reasons he needed to move. This wasn't going to make any. This wasn't really going to help
You
him.
might, yeah, you'd have to try to
Yeah.
do whatever.
So I told him to have that bank call me and offer me the 2%, and I'll take it.
Well,
No,
each situation is different, but the point was he needed to sell.
Right. He needs to sell for different reasons.
Okay.
So that's where it has to all come down to. If you're going to try to outguess the market, you
Most people guess wrong. Even the most educated people, right?
Yeah. So half of us are going to be. If we're all going to guess, half of us are going to be wrong.
Uh-huh.
And so, you've just got to move ahead and plan for the best you can for your finances and for what's going to fit your family's needs. Because if you're changing lifestyles, that makes you happy and comfortable for your family. You got to factor that in because that's worth a lot over and above money. Too.
Right.
So.
And the market is always moving. So you make a decision now to sell your house, but you say, you know what? If it's not within $5,000 of where I think I should sell my house, well, then you probably shouldn't be trying to sell your house.
Yeah.
Because the market could go up by 5 or 10 or 15 or 20,000.
Yep.
Or it could go down by 5 or 10 or 15. So it should make more sense to you than $5,000.
Correct.
If you're going to make this move, because we've seen that happen with people. They waste all this time and money
So
getting their house listed.
Okay.
Or on the buying side too, right?
Yeah, and we're being fairly serious here about what you should be doing for your finances, which your housing is a big portion of that, 30, 40, 50% in some cases of your budget. So it's a big item. So spend some time on it. But let's say you come to the now I'm just going to move forward for our next video, so you got to watch for the next one.
Okay.
But what's interesting is that buyers and sellers have some pre-planning to do would really help you. So now let's say you've gone through your finances, now you're thinking, yes, I think I'm probably ready to do something. So if you're a buyer, my big point, we'll talk about this more, it's getting more and more critical that you get your financing in line, 100% ready to go, so that basically it's like cash in the bank. You can tell when you make an offer on a house, you can tell that seller, all I need to do is have an appraisal and I'm ready. So this is more in detail later.
You know some loan officers that are really good at that because they work with you all the time.
And on the selling part, I'm planning on selling my house. I know the market might be a little off right now for the price I'm thinking I'm getting, but how can I have the best chance of getting the best price I can? And the way you can do that is to beat out your competition, the other people down the street that are selling their houses. And the best way to try to beat them out, besides price, is condition of your property.
Right.
So if you're
and it has very little to do with if there's snow on the ground.
Right.
People always get that one wrong.
Yeah.
They think they should wait till the spring market.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks that, and then there's a flood of houses in the spring market.
But so a little pre-planning and getting your house ready. And you need some good advice there, and that's what the next videos are going to be more about. But you need to get your property in the best condition you can, so that you can get recoup the most amount of money.
Right, and they could have you over to tell you what to spend money on or not spend money on. Like, don't spend money on a new swimming pool. That's an obvious one, right?
So anyway, that's the little tip for 2011.
Okay.
So more on that later too.
Thanks, Doug.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye now.